Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Bundles, and today's video is going to be a story time of everything that happened to me today. I literally just got discharged, got my IV out, and I'm going to be talking to you all about how the process with my non-stress test and NSF or NST, excuse me, and how like that whole experience went, because I've never had to go in for a non-stress test. And if you've been following my pregnancy updates, then you know that recently I've been put on bi-weekly monitors via non-stress test. So I'll go twice a week to the doctor to make sure that everything's fine. And when I was at the doctor's office, well, before I get into the story, before I explain, what all happened, be sure to give the video a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into it. So when I last left the doctor, I was told that I would have my first non-stress test today. And I went at 7:30. I went at 7:30 expecting to get out around 8. And I wasn't told to eat. So I didn't eat anything. I didn't drink anything. I went in and they hooked me up to the monitor. So it was one device monitoring my contractions and the other monitoring baby. So like I mentioned in some other videos, my baby is very active. She moves literally all the time. There are sometimes she's, sleep, but normally like when early in the morning, she's kind of asleep. I don't really feel a lot of her movements. And then after I get up, get something to eat, like around 9, 10, she's up. Then, she goes back to sleep, or her movements aren't so defined. And then around lunchtime, she's moving around a lot again. And then before I go to bed. So I knew like around 7 something, she was not going to be as active just because of previous patterns. I mean, I could have been wrong, but that's what I suspected. And so I didn't really know what to look for, because I would have scheduled my appointment later on in the day if I knew that they were going to have certain criteria that I felt like she would have done better at passing later on in the day. And let me explain. What I mean by that is the doctor wanted to see, and I'm not going to say the right terminology, but they wanted to see spikes in her heart rate. So her heart rate was around like 140 to 150, and they wanted some high variations of her going up to like 170 occasionally for like they were going to monitor for 30 minutes. And during the 30 minutes, they didn't see that. So they gave me water to drink. They also gave me crackers. They used this device that was kind of like, it looked like a little microphone, and they put it on my stomach, and they said that it makes a loud noise, and it kind of also like vibrated my stomach. So she did that twice, and I could feel my baby like jaw. And I'm like, okay, I don't really want to keep doing that. I asked them if that like hurts them, and the nurse said, no, it doesn't. But I just didn't feel comfortable with her continuously being like jolted or hearing a noise that was startling her. So we kept monitoring the baby. Still no, they didn't see what they were looking for. So I'm 28 weeks currently. The ultrasound tech or the nurse did advise me that it's not uncommon for sometimes babies that are 28 weeks to not go up to like the 170s within 30 minutes. So they sent me to the second part of the test, which was an ultrasound. The ultrasound, they measured the amniotic fluid. They look at baby. They want to see the baby like clench their hands twice or their feet twice. So she did that. And they also want to see like their diaphragm going up and down, like practicing breathing motions. She did not do that. So the ultrasound tech began like shaking my stomach, pounding my stomach, and it was okay for a little bit, but she literally did that for like, I'm not exaggerating, probably like 10 minutes, to the point that I had to ask her to please stop shaking me, like, please stop. Baby was already up. You could see on the ultrasound, she was moving. She was trying to get away from it, honestly. I believe, and kind of turning away from it. And so they had me lay on my side and still was, you know, bouncing and poking and jabbing, trying to get her diaphragm, excuse me, or diagram. Trying to get, you know, it's been a long day, but trying to see her body go up and down, her chest mimic breathing motions. And she didn't do it. So then the next step was to transfer me to labor and delivery. So they told me to drive to labor and delivery. So that's what I did. And that's at a different hospital. So I drove there, got checked in. They hooked me back up to the same monitors. One monitor measuring baby's heartbeat, the other one measuring the contractions, just like earlier this morning at the doctor's office. Everything's fine, wasn't having any contractions, but the baby still wasn't like going up to like the 170s that they were wanting to see. And I'm high risk, so they want to make sure they're doing everything they can to make sure me and baby are safe, which I understand. So I went into the doctor's appointment again, like around 7:30. I didn't leave the hospital until around like 4. So I was literally there all day. I didn't eat anything besides a few crackers that they gave me earlier. I didn't have breakfast before because I didn't think I needed it. I really didn't know what the test was, and I wasn't prepped on what it was, and to make sure I eat first, because that would have helped kind of wake the baby up and give the baby energy and things like that. So they put an IV in my arm right here, and they filled it with liquids, not liquids, I think it was water, some kind of like water mixture, but it also has sugar in it to try and wake the baby up. But the baby was already woken up. So I'm like, I was kind of confused on that, because I'm like, we can see she's moving. She's very active. She's up. She's awake. She's just not doing the diaphragm motions, or she wasn't in that time frame that they were looking. So they monitored me for a while. I went through 2 bags of fluids, which actually helped my feet go down. The swelling went down a lot of my feet. They're still swollen, but not as swollen. They heard the baby and saw the baby moving a lot. And then before I left, well, after they monitored me for maybe like a few hours, they told me that the doctor was considering possibly doing a C-section if the baby didn't pass the test. So I was really nervous. I called my mom, called my husband. They were so like nervous because, of course, you know, no one was expecting this today. I'm scared. I'm just like, I wasn't expecting to go into labor today or deliver a baby today. So I prayed about it. I tried to stay calm. I took a nap there. The ultrasound tech came in at the labor and delivery unit, or in the labor and delivery unit, and she saw that my baby had hiccups. And she said the hiccups count as the chest going up and down, because there's air that goes into baby or something like that when they're hiccuping. So the hiccups passed her test. After that, they put me back on the monitors for like another hour, and then I got to go home. I got to eat, and I'm just resting now. But I wanted to make this video to give you all an update. Honestly, today was supposed to be a different video. I was supposed to record a video on making easy money from newsletters, with footage included. But because I was at the hospital all day and I'm fairly weak, I don't have the energy to do it. But I'm also tracking my pregnancy journey. So I wanted to record, honestly, when I was in the hospital, but I was really scared. And not just that, but I was weak. I didn't feel like recording, to be honest. I mean, I just didn't. I expected to be able to go to the doctor's appointment, come out, and then that's that. I did also plan to record the non-stress test, but I just didn't feel like it today. And since I was going back on Friday, because I have to go twice a week, I just was like, I would just record the one on Friday. But looking back, I do wish that I recorded the process, not just for YouTube, but for my family to see as well, like everything that I, you know, went through in emergency and everything. Not even just in emergency, but like the whole morning, and even to see like everything my baby had to go through, because it was a lot, like a lot of shaking my uterus, a lot of like I said, that device to startle the baby, I don't like that at all. And it was just, you know, trying the sugar water, the crackers, just trying to pass these tests. And I also got a paper that is going to help, like I have to record my baby and bring back the record on Friday. So I'm going to show you what that paper looks like in just a little bit. But yes, I wanted to give you all an update in case you're wanting to know, like, what is the stress test, and, you know, like, what happens if it doesn't go well? Like, what are the steps? Of course, every doctor's office and practice is different. Every state is different. I didn't have any of these tests with any of my pregnancies before, and I have 3 children that I've given birth to. So this was completely new to me, but I wanted to share it in hopes of helping someone else out there, just to kind of give you like a rundown of what I went through. But let me show you what the paper looks like. Just a moment. So the paper is like wrinkly now because it was just folded up in my purse, but this is what I need to record for my next appointment. So I just, you know, I need to put down the date, record the time that I feel the first movement, also record the movements. We're looking for at least like 10, and then record the time you feel the 10th movement. So this is the paper that is, I guess, like my homework. So I will keep you all updated. I may try to record my next test on Friday. But that's pretty much it for this video. I do want to thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.